Let's finish this! Do what you need to do! They're killing us!
My talk at the conference has been postponed, as is the conference itself. This is not a surprise. The Russian consulate has called me in. I am to stay here in the consulate building until the crisis has passed. It's very comfortable. More comfortable than my hotel, in fact, but here one feels a little bit like a prisoner. Am I not more useful to help with the study of green poison? This is what they are calling the virus. If I can work with others, it feels like the bad old days. At least I still have my phone and internet. I will try to stay up on how things develop. Perhaps I can be of help from here.
Where'd they all come from? Here's our chance! You don't know what you're doing!
The Last Man Battalion will now be patrolling your neighborhood. Please cooperate with all LMB soldiers so we can keep. Remember to comply with all requests from Last Man Battalion personnel. The life you save could be your own.
I am troubled by the news. The DCD says the virus may be smallpox, but the live smallpox virus is kept in just two places in the world, DCD and Vector in Siberia, where I work. It is very, very hard to access if one does not have the proper security clearance. If this is true, the one behind this may have the connection to DCD or Vector. They may even be known to me. It is disturbing. Still, no answer from Dr. Amherst. I am concerned for his health. I want to go to his home to make sure he is safe, but I am not permitted to leave consulate. I am too vital to Russian in, they tell me. Пожалуйста. city needs a hero. And I will give them that hero. I have always known that it was my destiny to someday be Manhattan's last defender of truth and of justice. And now is my time. It is time for me to don my mask and my cape and to go forth into the streets and to punish the wicked and to defend the innocent. It took the dollar flu, the so-called green poison, to trigger my latent powers. But I became indestructible. I had become the living symbol of this city, and I have sworn to protect it. Rikers, the LMB, the strange men with the flamethrowers. I fought them all in the name of justice.
Get off our... You know what you got to do. You ain't got a chance.
I made myself a costume. I took Kevlar from them and I stitched it together and I made a mask and a cape. The cape was not very good in a fight though, so I got rid of that after a while, but I always took the fight to the enemy. I stopped them from attacking the innocent, dropping down on them from rooftops, preventing them from preying on the weak. And the Riker who tried to follow me back to my apartment, I am sure that I lost him before he... Wait, what was that noise? I'll be back in a minute.
Joint Task Force New York has issued the following warning. Martial law is in effect. For your own safety, stay in your homes. Evacuations have been suspended until further notice.
Echo available for playback nearby.
Well, here I am, Aaron Keener, the First Wave's prodigal son. Normally I'd do this face-to-face, but I'm not 100% sure which way you'll jump. You act one way when Ms. Lau is watching, and another way entirely when you're off the leash. That's an interesting contradiction. You see, I think that deep down, you get it. You know, the old rules, laws, governments, those things died on Black Friday. But the feral PMCs, the convicts, the ones smart enough and good enough to take what they need, they'll survive. Me? I'm gonna prosper. Oh, you could too, but you took an oath, right? You got a duty. Those are both ways of saying that your conscience is fucking you. You ask yourself, who has earned a right to tell you what to do? Do you know how many agents died to hold the Dark Zone just for the brass to give up and put a wall around it? You don't believe me? You should check the place out for yourself. But the people you're working for, they're irrelevant now. Amherst changed how the game is played, and I have got the vision to win. I got Chernenko, I got a DNA printer, and a very interesting recipe book. I'm gonna write my own rules. You should think about getting in on this thing. I'll be seeing you.
Agent, the information you found in that lab was the crown jewel. I think we can break this thing now. But we've got some more information. A voice from the grave. Listen to what Amherst has to say.
What you're looking at is the smallpox virus, one of the deadliest pathogens on the planet. For centuries, it did a wonderful job of helping keep the human population in check. But times change, and sometimes Mother Nature needs a hand in improving her creations. Like, say, speeding them up a little bit, making them contagious when they should be quietly incubating in a host, or making them more lethal. I didn't come up with the approach on my own. My friend Vitaly is one of the pioneers in the field, and the idea has been around for years. Genome as data. You see, once we digitized DNA, we made it infinitely mutable. We could do 1,000 virtual variations in the time it used to take to grow a one-lab-grade generation of pathogens. And we could pick the best, most lethal combinations and make them real. That's how you make a killer virus, you see. Mix in genetic code from other diseases, and you move the sliders all the way up on lethality and virulence. The goal was a 90% mortality rate. I'm not sure my green poison is going to quite hit that, but honestly, that's just details. As long as most of humanity goes, the Earth stands a fighting chance. Technically, technology is what's killing the planet. But that's not really the case. It's the greed that drives the technology. But a funny thing happened on the way to $100 genome maps and 3D printed plastic toys. Someone figured out those technologies could be repurposed, modified for the greater good. Me. Now, my virus is going to do what nature's always done. Decide who lives and who dies. And if nature decides I die, then I die. If nothing else, I'll have a lot of company. Natural selection at its finest, helped along by a little unnatural genetic manipulation. It's all data, really. Life's just a method of processing it. The same with genome on my laptop. And who's to say that wasn't the plan all along? If, by some miracle, you survive green poison, then nature's decided you deserve to live. The rest of us shouldn't and won't. Godspeed. I'll see you in hell.
Got a situation here. One of the nurses found contraband. A bunch of loose wire.
Agent, I need you to check in with Commander Hector at the Secure Quarantine Center in the Tenderloin. We got 80 civilians in there, but one of them's missing. Looks like they were building an IED. I could use your eyes on the investigation.
Mm-hmm.